Okay, this is Sister Wives, season 15, episode 9, A Family Stuck. And I guess this whole season is just COVID, and it's infuriating because it's like taking all of the things that you hate about COVID and then putting it on my TV.
With people I hate.
Is your mom watching the baby?
I don't care.
Okay. He's joking. So anyway, Mary and Cody are 5 years apart. Janelle has like 3 dogs. I have to track this because of the Robin can't have a dog, but apparently Janelle has, they show her walking 2 little dogs, and then we know she has a big dog. So she's got at least 3 dogs.
But what I want to know is who had a cow this episode?
Won't, can't, don't, crying. Wow, I don't even know what that means. Anyway, and I didn't want to talk about COVID. I know that at least if I told you my opinion on COVID, at least half of you would disagree with me. That's exactly what the family is doing. And it's driving me nuts because Cody's like, I want to be safe. I'm Captain CDC. I'm going to take it so seriously. And then immediately will say, but I'm going to continue to go to every family. Okay, patient zero. That you can't act like you want everyone to follow the CDC rules and then give yourself an exception, because it's not how that works. You're poking a hole in the boat. So none of the other families can get together, but he gets to go, well, let's just pretend Mary's not even in the family because she's not. Yeah. Right? I mean, that's essentially it. He's not seeing her. He's not,
no attempt is being made. She
said maybe 6 words the whole episode, and that was it. So we're just going to pretend Mary is not in the equation because according to Cody, she isn't. But the other 3 wives, he's going to go to each of their families. As of this episode, he's going to each of the families. He gets to see all his kids. He gets to do all that, but then he turns around and says, but the kids can't get together. And it's like, that's not what the CDC would say. That's not how a CDC bubble works. Anyway, and I know half of you don't like the CDC.
This is polygamy. This is how polygamy works, honey.
I know. I'm sorry, and I'm all hyped up because we're uploading this late because and so I had lunch and it was too hot, so I had a little bit of something to drink, and now I'm a little buzzed, and so I got a lot of emotions going on. Do you want to take over while I calm myself down?
You're not paying us enough to watch this crap on your behalf.
Okay, anyway.
So Patreon us if we have that.
No, we don't have a Patreon.
We don't even have that.
So Robin's like, okay, I'm just going to push through. I know some of you are not going to like my analysis, but whatever. Robin says they shouldn't be in groups of 10 or larger. Mary made literally no comment other than to say, how long is Hunter here? Janelle is like, I'm going to lose it. We just need to get together. And Christine's like, so Christine and Janelle are on boat. It's not that serious. It's going to last a long time. Who cares? Robin is way over here on the other side saying, we need to quarantine. And Cody is, of course, taking Robin's side, except he's made a huge exception, which means he can go to every house, which is...
If you're a family, act like a family. If you're not, then act like this.
Well, I mean, the thing is they had bubbles, and they had the whole CD thing about the bubble, and if no one goes in or out, the bubble's safe. But instead, he's just breaking each bubble by going back and forth, but then saying all the other wives. So he at one point says, we all need to be safe, and the next point it says, you need to do your own thing, and then he just goes back and forth, total wibble wobble, and then he calls Janelle full of, which I'm not going to put because that'll get us demonetized, so, or can get us in trouble. Anyway, so I'm not going to say it, but he said it repeatedly, and then Janelle's like, fine, well, if the option is either seeing you or having all of my kids go see all Christine's kids, I guess Christine and I will remove ourselves from the bubble. And then Christine's talking about how Cody's only there a few hours a week. And we know he hasn't gone to Mary's in forever. And for a short period of time, he was not going to Janelle's. So he should have been, but even if he's going to Janelle, Robin, and Christine's, he should be there 2 full days. So where is he spending...
How does a man with that much testosterone contain himself?
I don't know, John. I don't know, but maybe you, since you're such a great man, maybe you could teach lessons. Anyway, next week is the season finale, 2-hour season finale, because so much has happened.
I could have put this episode into 15 minutes. You wouldn't have missed anything.
And then he talks about I'm open. Oh, then he goes about how he's open to Christine's complaints. And I'm like, you should tell that to Cody from every other episode so far, and from this episode where all he does is complain about how he's endured her. Then he talks about how he doesn't like plural marriage and she doesn't like plural marriage. This whole thing is just unraveling. And then Robin's like, you know what we should do? We should have more kids. And she's like, Cody, do you want more kids? And he's like, well, I mean, it's kind of up to you. But then he complains, he calls Ari an idiot. Totally, I mean, it's like, my child is not on TV, but I would throw myself in front of a bus to protect him, especially at the age of 4. So like it's like every time you turn around, he's throwing his kids under the bus, and it's like, geez, you say that they're the ones you really love. Anyway, I am all worked up.
Are you?
I don't think this is going to be. I don't think I'm going to get very good reviews on this episode. Anyway, I know it's supposed to be an analogy. I know he's like talking about how, but it's just like don't do that. Like, don't call your kid an idiot, even if you meant it like compared to an adult or something. And then she kind of explains a religious thing that she thinks that one of the baby's souls is hanging around, and so she has another child, so that soul. And I'm not going to criticize her on that, because John and I had
It's weird.
a lot of fertility problems, and so I'm really sensitive about babies, and I even talking about it, I'm gonna get all emotional and stuff. We have one son, we're so happy to have him, but I have a lot of stuff around not being able to have more children. Anyway, and so then Janelle and Chris, so Janelle's doing this. I mean, it's weird because it's like on one hand, Cody will be like, he seems to want to do nothing to make things better other than say that his wives should do things better. And then we'll get mad when they try to do things better because they're like meddling, or I don't even know.
You know, he should collect a tax from him when he comes around all the time.
Why?
Just, to set his kingdom up.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna tax the serfs.
I knew you were going somewhere with that. I had no clue where, though. Anyway, he's like, we've already been in this pandemic for 7 weeks. And I'm like, oh my gosh. 7 whole weeks? You don't say, buddy. Anyway, looks like they're going to continue this fight about how he gets an exception, but everybody else has to follow the rules. And it's like, I kind of get why his wives don't appreciate that, is because, anyway, so then we get Janelle goes and talks to Robin about how she wants to communicate better. Robin's like, that's great. Then Janelle goes and talks to Chris. Seems like Janelle should be the husband in this relationship, because she seems to be the only one who goes and consistently has difficult conversations with people and attempts. I'm not always saying Janelle's perfect, but in these conversations,
she does seem to care, which is more than we can say about Cody.
In the conversations with Christine, and in a couple of seasons ago it was Mary, she does seem to be the only one there willing to have difficult conversations with people and genuinely try to listen without immediately just melting into a puddle of defensiveness. Cody. So that's interesting. Next week is the season. I thought they were going to at some point get going, and it was going to be like June and then December.
This was our setup for the 2-hour episode.
Yeah, so it looks like a disaster. So anyway, what do you think of the season so far? What was your favorite part?
All filmed on an iPhone.
All filmed on an iPhone. Okay, sorry, not our best recap, but
pretty good.
We really tried. Okay, bye.